Can you all hear me? Good. I want to see visual feedback if anyone can hear me correctly. Okay, welcome. All right, so I want to believe everyone can hear me. We'll be moving fast, like I said, so we'll not take too much time with explanation, but I've done some initial work for everybody. So I've already extracted my colors. I mean, some of you would accuse me that I have my current colors, but yes, you may not be too far from the truth when it comes to accusing me of colors and all. But yeah, we already have the color for the brand development we're going to be working with. So, and I had already taken the liberty of doing the logo first. So I will reconstruct this in your presence so you get to see it. But I don't. I was trying to ensure we don't take time or we don't waste time. So when we hear the word InstantFind, it's a CV builder. If you're part of the Discord channel, then nothing here is new to you. Everything I've mentioned so far, you already know. Yeah, I'm just giving you a visual. I'm letting visual cadence to it. So there's nothing new here per se. There is a lot of mark. I'm trying to represent that hand. You know that hand that says something is happening instantly. Let me see if I can just show it full screen. We are trying to show something happening. Let me see if I can do it. So, okay. So we are trying to show something happening instantly, like a finger snap. Thank you, Balogun. Like a finger snap. And that's what we are trying to replicate here. But there's a lot of finger snap on Pinterest. So much that I couldn't do the one that shows the hand going like this. So I had to ensure that the hand don't go too far apart. So we retain some sort of authority and autonomy on our logo. So that's why we came about this. And then these are the colors I extracted from a lot of my reference. So what we are going to go next now into designing would be, let me see if I can just do it. This would be width 1920 by 1080. So we'll start with the actual works. We don't have so much time to spare. This should help us with moving fast. So we already did the logo, like I said earlier. So this is just, I'll just try and replicate the logo again and show you, for the sake of those who are learning illustration for the first time. And like I said earlier, I'm not teaching how to use illustration. I'm showing you the design process end to end generally. So I'll be moving fairly fast, like I said, but yes, that should make things incredibly easy going forward. So you just take, I want to replicate the logo the way it is without necessarily tracing it. This is what you're looking at. Command Y. Can you see it? Yes. So this is what you're looking at. It's just strokes. Then I increase the width. After increasing the width, then I flattened it and then it looked like this. So I'll show you that all over again. And we even make corrections that are here that I can see here. So this is not meant to go past this level. Let me adjust that and then we'll just lock down the logo. Can you all hear me? I want to be sure you are all still. connected, and you all can hear me. So just remove all the extended edges. I saw that error now, and I just needed to correct it. Okay, yes, we are intact. So you take this, just take it out. Object, expand. You have expanded it now, so it's now an object. It's no longer a stroke. I started with a stroke, so I did not trace it end to end like that. You just come here and then flatten it. It's now one object. Can you see it? Can you see what you are looking at? Can you see how different these two are? This is still editable. This, it's already in a destructive state. There's nothing to edit here again. So our logo is done like this. We pick it. We are trying to make it neat and work on a very small form factor. So InstantFind is like LinkedIn, but more classy and just somewhere you get to share all your details and all, literally all your work history and everything that contains it. So the background is very, very, it can work with any of our secondary color. So as you can see it, I intentionally allowed it to be very straightforward because we are going with a playful brand, but I'll be moving fast, so just stick with me. It can work in any of this background. It can work. So let me show you what I'm saying. Everything we work on, if you're on the if you are on, and I believe most of you here are, if you are on the Discord channel, all these resources will be available to you at the end of every class. Every class, at the end of every class. So you can see it works on any of these our background, literally any of them. Let me zoom in a bit. It works on any of our background. So we would like to just quickly start. We can take this out first. Everything we are doing, I would strongly recommend you also do the same personally. So you don't just watch. I mean, especially if you have the tool, so you can see it. This is what you are looking at. Especially if you have the tool and the resources, I strongly suggest you do the same. So stay with me. So we'll just say brand development. I chose this typeface. Because of its flexibility. It is very, very flexible. Very flexible. Having variable font. Immediately I saw it had variable font, I was really, really excited. Very, very excited. So that's why I'm using it. Let me say 120. Sorry, I'm typing in the wrong place. 120. Let's say 300. Okay, not too bad. So let's start our work. I will not spend so much time on doing the 150. 175. I want to start this. Let me just go 200. I will not spend so much time on this space, but I need you, the few time we spend together here, I really need all your attention because I am about to start moving really, really fast. But now that I've done this, one of the things we'll quickly do that I've always really mentioned or encouraged that we do well is our grid line. So what is the grid line? That is, it's not a peace sign per se. You're snapping. I hope that the logo like sort of tells you what it is about, what it's doing. I hope that logo speaks by itself. I really hope there is no conflict or confusion. I genuinely hope so anyway. We can actually not use it italics. You can just be semi-bold, not necessarily italicized. Okay, so this is good. So when you are dealing with something of this size and scale, it's good you have some sort of brand guide to help you as you are navigating things like this. I used to have a template, but I don't want to just fool anybody by using a template. That's your point of having this class. is so that you can see by yourself. Let me take this out, how it works, even without templates. If I start giving it a background, just stay with me. I have a guide, but before I start going into guides, I can move faster with this. Okay, so with this, just a bit. We'll do it once and then we'll not need to do it again. Here, flush to the left. Here again, flush to the middle. Here and here. So we just all right. So what we are going to do here is to ensure we align it evenly. Okay, so we have done that. So we are moving by this number. It's quite simple, very simple. So we'll keep things very, very simple that way. I'm doing rules so that for the sake of the others, that's all. Generally, when I'm working, which doesn't apply to everybody, I may not necessarily do rule. Yeah, okay. The logo snaps. The logo snaps to signify something moving with speed. So that's why when we use the word instant, I just sat down and said, okay, so what I need it to be very literal. People shouldn't have to think or overthink what is going on here. That how can it be literal? And then that's how I came with that. That's how I came with that logo sign for the snap. To snap, which means for something to just happen instantly. All right. So we have this down. I think we are good to go. We are not going to make it big or unnecessarily complicated. So we'll just do this once and then keep it. Let me bring this to the middle too. We are good to go. Now, this is one out of many approaches. So for clarity's sake, so people don't say this is how it always is. This is one out of many approaches. And I genuinely hope that you resonate with the logo. I'm just hoping it doesn't feel lackluster, like you just did the logo because you wanted to take a class. I really feel and hope that is now it appears to you. Genuinely so. So this helps us as a guide for both so when we say brand development, now we get to the okay, so let me be sure there is no overshoot here. Okay, no, it's the okay, so let me be sure we are all moving at my pace. No, I put the wrong thing. All this hard work I'm doing, I can just go and check and say 1920 by 1080. So I will not, I'll save myself the trouble. Okay. I don't think this particular live stream is being recorded. That's terrible. I don't think this particular one is being recorded. And I hope we'll be able to record it. Probably the next one will be recorded, but this one won't be recorded. Please just give me your attention because I'm about to I am literally about to go fast, incredibly fast. I know what I mean when I say I'm about to go fast. So please just give me your undivided attention. So just watch. So we have that already. Let's move. We will put it together, but first, before we put it together, let's what's today's date? So here is where we would start dealing with things. Scale matters. So I'm a okay. So I don't. Let me just use Geist. So I keep things. Because if I use Campton, I know people who would call my name all of a sudden if they suddenly start seeing me using Campton. So date. So what's today's date? Today's date is 17th. Thank you for whoever responded. 17th. Today's 17th or 18th. I think today is 18th, not 17th, but yes, 18th July 2024. 5, sorry. I still make that mistake. Auto. Okay, so so this should be toned down a bit. I'm not going to use color because we may change this background color, so I won't use color. Let me say opacity should be like 50 because we will not use color. So date, designer. What are we going to call all of us? Night UI crew. Okay. Then yes, I know that the tracking has been adjusted. Let me see if we can still do that again. This is too much. Let's say 25. Good. Night UI crew or night crew. Night crawlers. Night crawlers remind me of X-Men, but yeah. Okay, so so the next thing we want to put here is scope or stage, depending on what you are dealing with or who you are dealing with. So we'll just say scope. Full brand development. Actually, it's not full because I won't do social media. I won't do social media. I won't do midnight crew. Okay, I won't do all of those things. So yeah, this command 2. Yeah, command shift 2. This can be reduced to probably 0. Let me see it. All right, so this is what it looks like. If you are looking at it fully, this is what it looks like. I hope you can see what I'm saying, but we are not done. We are not done. Let me just take this, okay, and then, sorry. So this, I hope this is opacity that was reduced. So the reason why I'm insisting opacity over what we did earlier, I might mask it, it depends. The reason why I'm insisting opacity is that so that when I change the background, we will not have an issue with it. So this is meant to be white. My eyes tells me it is not fully white. All right, so you can see scale matters, but yeah, never mind. Let me just continue. So we can choose what we want to deprioritize, whether this or the brand development. If it is this, then we reduce opacity. The reason why I'm not using a different color but using opacity is simply because when I take this and I say I want it to be this, you see it inherits whatever color is on the background without necessarily because if you go and use yes, all of this can be done in Figma. I'm faster on this. I'm literally fast here. That's why I'm here. That's the whole point. That's the reason why you're seeing me here. I'm faster when it comes to Illustrator. So this has nothing to do with preference. And I think that's the beauty of the community. A lot of things you don't understand. There are always people on guard willing to. Oh God, I keep pressing key anytime I want to scale up. Muscle memory, man. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so here we have it. So we have started. Let's move. We are now going to the real work. Our stuff is still intact. Remember, we had our own grid that we worked with. So let's move now. Shall we? Yes, we shall. We don't need this yet. We need, so there are things that I've listed down here that we are working with. Someone should just help me write it down. Things we are working with and things we have to design. A phone call. Someone should help me just read this down. So I'll not have to be looking at the paper while we are designing. There are things we are working on. Phone call, paper, suitcase, a cap, a cap. Yes, I'd mentioned that. Tool or hammer, any of that. Tool, spanner, hammer. Then badge. Then paper and magnifier put together. Then hand holding love. Then a cup, a trophy cup. And they were also doing language or language sign or translation sign, anyone. Then group of people, preferably icon. Then tennis and baseball, tennis and baseball. So those are the things we have to, thank you. Those are the things we have to design now. But let's start with easy to add. So yes, this is where we move fast, incredibly fast. So just stay with me. Let me not let me just remember that we have learners in our midst. Everything follows a particular grid line or a particular pattern. So let me stick. Please always remember that everything follows a particular pattern. But let me do what we make everything incredibly easy for everybody. Let me just do this. I keep forgetting that it's not just me that's here. I'm a lot of people here. So I'm designing based on the perspective I want. I hope you all understand that now. So this is the perspective I want to work with. It's facing the top. So Command G, view, and then guides, make guides. So I have my guide now that I can work with. So what does this mean? It means I can start moving fast. So let's start. I made my own guide. This is my own approach. Command G and Command 2. So I made my own guide. I lock down this layer and then I start. Just stay with me. So everything you ever design, everything you will be designing, everything you are going to be working with generally has its form. And once you're able to see that form as a designer, I mean, this doesn't generally just apply to people who do brand design. This applies to any kind of designer, brand, product, any kind of designer that you are. Once you start seeing the form and shape of things, it sort of makes you unstoppable. Unstoppable is such an understatement. I just use the shape builder to make that shape out, and then I'll take out the excesses. I don't like excesses. They slow down your design because you are just going to spend. So yeah, like this, we double it. We bring it to the top. Depending on how you want it to be, how tall you want it to be, but just stay with me. Then Command Y. The reason why I love using the pen tool is that it affords me such flexibility. Okay. I'll try as much as possible to keep talking. So people, before I firmly place my lips together and start moving with speed, just stay with me. Everything I'm doing should become apparent at some point. I hope so anyway. Have we all started illustrating now? Yes. No, no. Well, we said we'll start with brand, and most of the brand assets we'll be working with is what we're about to work on now. So that's why I said I will move fast in this region. I'm still intentionally moving at my pace, so it doesn't overwhelm anybody. But yeah, you don't necessarily, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, but just, I really hope, me and overthinking everything, I really hope you get to see and not be bothered or chased away or discouraged. Now, and some of you are incredibly good. This is just going to be another reminder to everything you already know. So there is that too. But to people who are just joining or who are just starting out in illustration and these things are new to, a lot of the things I'm doing are muscle memory. They have been used to doing them for a very long time. That's why it seems as though it's quite easy for me to do it. I'm saying this, no, let me maintain that gap. I'm saying this so you don't feel too easily discouraged. In fact, you need not be discouraged. There's nothing to be discouraged about, genuinely speaking. Okay, so we want to make things. We'll end up seeing the style of illustration I'm buying for, but let's continue. So we'll take this. Okay, so no. Let me just do this straight. We are better off this way. One thing you will notice is that the grid line I have done for myself makes things incredibly easy for me. It makes those placements very, very easy. So I don't need to go on the internet and look for grid line. I can just decide to do my own grid line. When you see things, I'm even doing the grid line because we are on this live stream. Some things become relatively easy over time. Once you keep at it for a very long time, you just grow muscle memory towards it. We place it at the center. Then we need it rounded, not sharp like this. We need it rounded. So we just hold it. Effect. Okay, so we have our rounded corner, but this is still recognized as a square. So we'll come object. I'm explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing, by the way, so that I don't lose people. C command. Before we do C and F, let me just take this out. Good. All right, so we have this done. Another thing we will do now is just layer this. Yes, Illustrator can be overwhelming for you. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. So yes, start with the tool you are convenient with. This tool you are convenient with the most is the one you should start with. Don't start with and then if you want to go the hard route, I know something is wrong with this shape. I'm coming, please. Just give me a minute. If you want to go the hard route, just throw yourself in the deep ocean like I did. There's no point running away. Hard is hard anyway. We will soon be done with this and then we'll move on. So you can't now, for designing things like this, for those who are familiar, you can't do like this. You see how it comes out. You see how it came out rather. You see that this is not doing it well. This is now you make rounded corner, especially when I'm dealing with perspective. So that's why I come here, rounded corners, and then I say 1000 and then I say preview. You see, this is more accurate than using the initial rounded corners. This is distorted. But this, even when you go full round, it's still distorted. But this maintains your perspective. You see, it maintains that, but yeah, this is not an Illustrator class. We are going somewhere. This is just the road going to where we want to get to. We are on the road to getting to where we want to get to. The real work is in the UI. But I strongly recommend, even if you don't do Illustrator, you should object, expand. Okay, so you should just a little. Then this line again. Can anyone explain why this line? I'm using it. It's really not. I wanted to say, can anyone explain why that line is there? But I just realized that I'm already turning this to a full-blown Illustrator class, and it's not. So yeah, we'll just ignore. We'll just ignore, man. Take this down. And here we have it. So we want to show there's a ladder atop it, and then it's just a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be accurate. We'll just do that quickly, and then we are done. We can move on. Like I said, the thing about Illustrator or designing in Illustrator is that there are no rules around the approach. If Figma is what you are incredibly comfortable with, please go and use Figma. For me, I'm comfortable with Illustrator. Illustrator gives me flexibility. So it's really, that flexibility is something I don't trade. It's something I'll never trade. That's why I still find myself coming back to, I still find myself coming back to Illustrator to design. So that's my explanation as to why I'm saying this. Okay, so yeah, I'm almost done. Let me just join this together. I'm coming. Okay. Let me be sure they are connecting. Nothing is more annoying than when they don't connect. They are not connecting. Even here, I'll manually adjust it, but I'm coming. Let me just take this out and be sure we are good. We are good. Okay, so now as to this part, let's just take this out first. Then this one. Then this one. So we have our handle. All right. Wait, let me ensure that I'm using the right stroke joint. This. Thank you. So now, let us manually adjust this. It's connecting. It's connecting, but what is missing? Something is not connecting here. Sorry, this can be very maddening. I know. I know for a fact that it can, but it's a very small price to pay. Let me be sure the base is connecting and we don't have a missing point. Okay, so let me do that again and move. So all additional protrusions like this, they won't mean anything until you increase your stroke. You realize things are overlapping or things don't sit well. Okay, so you must always be careful to take them out. Always. Okay, so we have our handle. We now need to do the we have our handle. Then we'll do the joints that connect both. This is what I'm saying when I say you take out extensions. They have a way of meaning your design. But I mean, this is for people who do illustration. If you don't do illustration, you might not necessarily bother about what I'm saying. But yeah. So this connects here. I hope you get, I mean, you all get what I'm trying to communicate with this. I'm sorry, I will have done you all a great disservice if I'd already done this illustrator. When you carry your suitcase, most times there is a cushion part and then there is the leather or the attachments section. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. So I hope it gets easier that way. Wait, at least people sort of understand what's going on. So protrusions. Okay, so here, let me see. It's disconnected. Let's now bring it all together. Okay, good. Then we'll take this and then we'll place it underneath. I'll have to use my layers at this point. Move it back so that you all can see what I am trying to achieve. Yeah, but no problem. So I think yes, we are done in a sense with this. Let me do this ASAP and know that I am done. Okay, so yeah, this comes here. So we need this touching. Not yet, something is still missing. If it's touching already, hopefully so. I need it to override so that I will not waste anybody's time. Okay, I see the problem. Okay, so you must always take care of your details. That's what my That's what my 2 cents is about. Let's do this. Bring this here too. Sorry, let me be sure I'm moving in by the right line. Just give me a minute. So at least when you see it on the design, you will not say it was the easiest thing to do. It's not illustration. Well, this is how it's meant to be generally. If you are doing illustration, your attention to details really has to be there. It's not just in the UI that you show attention to detail. I mean, your assets so has to carry attention to detail. Cumulatively, they will tell us the kind of designer you are. And if your attention to details are not well handled on small things, we will not believe you on big things. It's practically not possible. In fact, you will probably not have a eye for complexity when it comes to proper design. And most people even who do this designs don't have, generally speaking anyway, they don't have the mind for complexity. I don't mean that I'm not sobbing anybody. We see and appreciate good work, but the complexity and attention required to get it done, we don't. We have spent just close to an hour, and then we are just on one asset, so we need to move fast. Nobody should ask me question again. I might just be moving really, really fast now. Okay, so yeah, let me take this one out too. Okay, I think we are almost done with one. All right. Error. Let me just quickly carry that error now. Okay, you know what? Let me just leave it. Let me artificially show it like this. All right, so we are done. Let's now move on to the second object. We are done with object one. I would do the cleanup and then probably send it on the chat. They were just randomly. They do not specifically have an angle line per se. They were just randomly taken and used. So it's not as though they were specifically used by, oh, this is the angle. So you don't necessarily have to get my angle. What you need to get that is really, really important is get your guiding lines first. Once you get your guiding line, then start drawing on those lines. Do you get my point? Get your guiding line. Then once you get your guiding line, start drawing on those lines. If I really wanted to go detailed, this is not an illustration class. It's not specifically for illustration. If I really want to go detailed, we have just spent 1 hour and I want us to complete all those assets that I called out for us. So I will just need to move away from here. The final thing you see in the Discord will be a bit different. I'm just saying, this is what it looks like. But the final thing you're going to see in Discord is going to be different. And for context, this is the shadow. There's also going to be a shadow, and then there'll be supporting assets around it. I'm just giving everyone a heads up that what you're going to see on Discord, by the time we send it there, is going to be fairly different. So let me move this. No. Okay, Command Shift 2, then move this 2. This should be flattened back, and this should be. We don't need all of this now. So we want now just to explain that what I was telling in initially is what did I call it? To explain what I was saying initially that is arbitrarily done. See what I'm about to do now. No, just I'll be moving faster than I moved before. Please just bear with me. I don't want to just spend 1 hour looking at assets when we have proper work to do. We have not even gone down to adjusting our other assets, so this should be longer. Just stay with me. You see how I arbitrarily drew another line? Let me show you. I mean it's arbitrary. You just draw it. Good. You can always watch the video later. Yes. So at what other angle do I want it to show? Mm, like this. So watch now. See this angle I'm working with. So you will know that there are no rules to it. It's not recorded, but it will always be available on. It will always be available. No, we don't have to use the same perspective as the first. I'm just randomly see what I showed you. This is a paper. I just decided to show you. Originally, if I'm to draw this without using those governing lines or grid lines, I would have just drawn this directly, facing this. So what you are looking at here is facing, oh, sorry, let me show you the camera. It's sitting like this. But what I want to draw next is facing like this. What I might draw next might be facing like this. So I can change the perspective as I want. Now, that is something your eyes have to see. I'm only using the grid line because I'm taking a class online. If I were not taking a class online, I probably would be faster than this because I will just keep drawing the lines. But I use the green line to show you what I am seeing and what I am positioning the object on. Does that make sense? So for the next thing now, I want to show you what I'm positioning the object on. That's the whole point of using the grid line. It's muscle memory, yes. Adaije, it's muscle memory. If I want to know where the shadow should go, I promise you it's muscle memory. And sometimes I'm even reckless. I will have designed it, then I decide where the shadow should go. It can still be a bit more advanced in the sense that, I know I'm not doing illustration class, but let me continue. In the sense that this can face the top, and you can decide that the sun is coming from behind, not from the top. You can, if you do 3D, you should understand you can decide where lightning is coming from. The lightning scene. That is if you do 3D. And I hope we have 3D folks here. You can move where light is reflecting on. And so if this shadow spreads like this, if it comes this way, and then the shadow spreads like this, you know the light is coming from where? From the top right. Do you get my point? So the perspective still doesn't necessarily decide where light is coming from. If you have done 3D design, you probably should sort of understand what I'm saying. The perspective can be decided by you, but you still get to decide it. Yeah, the light controls the shadow. Thank you, Sonny Boss. The light literally decides where the shadow falls to. So those are like basic things you must really become what's called. You must have heightened perceptual profile about your environment. See how things reflect. It sort of influence not just Illustrator. You will see it in product design too. It sort of influence how you approach your design, because in all, design ultimately is just mimicking reality. Product design is mimicking real design with the buttons, the knob, and all of that. So all design mimic reality. The more you are perceptive towards reality, the more you're able to design. That's why people will tell you that if you want to improve your design, observe your world around you, then abstract or extrapolate those knowledge and bring them into your design. And you probably biomimicry, something like that. So enough of the talk. Now let's go. Let's go. So I want to draw a cup. Yes, literally go and touch that if you want to improve your design, something like that. So no, sorry. I already have a perspective I'm working with. Let me honor it. So it's like this. Don't get confused, Sha. I genuinely hope you won't get confused. And I mean it. That there are some things I'm doing that you can see me do something totally different tomorrow, and you'll not say, but you. So there are no, I don't want you to approach it with, what's it called? I don't want you to approach it with this sense of, this is how it will always be. If you are seeing someone else do this design, they might not even use green line or at all. The goal is to create systems that helps you replicate what you are seeing, and that's what I'm doing. Green lines help me teach, not necessarily help me design faster, but they help me teach. So I can teach. So now I'm sure you can see what I am doing. There's multiple ways to do the same thing. Beautiful talk, my guy. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. Let me move on. One more. Just stay with me. You see I'm falling a particular line. All right, I think we are good. So we'll come here. And remember what I said. You can just come here. I hope you start object. I'm not teaching Illustrator class, so let me ignore what I'm about to say. It's not for everybody. Your eyes must be able to deconstruct things. I've said this so many times in so many classes. People don't sort of pay attention to it. Your eye has to be able to deconstruct things and reconstruct them accurately. That's the only way you'll be able to do design effectively. If your eyes cannot deconstruct, you will literally have a lot of problem trying to do good design. But yes, that's a whole conversation for probably another day. Another day. That your eyes being able to deconstruct things will save you a great many deal if when it comes to designing. You would literally be able to design without hindrance. Without any kind of form of hindrance. But if your eyes cannot deconstruct, you will struggle because you will not see how things are done. Your eyes will not be able to connect things. God, even now, I know I'm sounding so abstract. Oh well, that probably would be for a paid class whenever I have the time. The way we will take the design class, if we ever take a paid design class, you will be sure because we will not even start with design. Well, because there I will be oversharing. But here, I can afford to do as I like. Can you see what is going on? Object. Can you see it before it is even done? No, never mind. Let's just continue. So this command X, shift X, yeah, like this. Someone said yes. Can someone tell me what they are looking at? Let me be sure the person is not just saying yes. The thing is, the goal is that you must see what others see before even it becomes apparent to them. Literally, if you are not able to do that, you will struggle a lot as a designer. You will struggle to sell. You will struggle to. So yeah, you must see what others even before they see it. Someone said, "Is this still a cup?" Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to understand. Your eye just needs to follow. Just stay put. That's all I'm asking for. That let your eye follow. Even before it becomes apparent. I'm taking a lot of liberty to do some things, but never mind. We would move fast, very fast, very, very fast. Because this is where the initial work is, even before we go inside the work. So yeah, your eye really need to see things the way they are meant to be seen. Yes, Joel, yes, you're absolutely correct. That rectangle is the base. And so, no, I don't think I will. It gets illustrate. I'm fully transitioned. There's one more in product design, please. I shall not be identified as an illustrator. There's one more in product design. Okay, so my point is, it gets easier. It gets easier. So Your eyes must be able to see things even before it becomes apparent to people. If you can't do that, you probably will struggle to stand out because there's nothing you are doing that people will not anticipate. But once you are able to move at such speed, sorry, that's an error. At such speed and pace that nobody even knows what you are trying to do, everything becomes relatively easy because I'm not making the cup equal. Yeah, you must see become before it becomes apparent. I'm sounding like a sage, but that's literally it. That's literally how it must be when you are doing design. You must see it before. If you can't see it before it becomes apparent, there's nothing absolutely different from you and any other person. Literally, when anybody claim design is hard or they don't know design or design is tough, you too you will join them because apparently you don't see beyond that which is obvious. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm insulting folks, but yeah, I'm taking liberty with this section by the way. We'll soon be done with this. My goal is that we should be able to cover a lot. What did I just? Sorry, this. My goal is that we'll be able to cover a lot in a very short time. We need that star very, very obvious. So we'll bring this here. Yeah, you must also know how to use the tools on this app. So it makes things easy for you. If you don't know how to use the tools, it will add small. I need it to, yeah. I hope you all know what I'm trying to do. I need to follow that perspective. Someone is saying see beyond the mundane. I don't think that's what I'm not asking to see beyond the money, but if you interpret it as that, oh well, I don't have a problem with that. If it helps you grasp what is being said. I'm sorry, but I need to get this angle right. This my talk is not allowing me. Then I need it to flatten a bit like this. Yes. It must sit here. Then it must protrude forward like that. Yeah. So it has to feel like it was attached to it, and I don't want to warp it. So let's leave it this way. Then rotate it a bit. Yeah. So now, where's the center? So most of the time when the work is done, people see it in its finished state and they appreciate what you have done on the internet. This is where me and you get to become better designers with clarity of insight because this is the rough part. This is the part people don't get to see. Do you get my point? And that's why it's important we have these conversations and then we see things as they are even before they become apparent. All right. I hope with these few points of mine, you are able to, I'm able to convince you that, and not confuse you that your designs are really, really important, especially when, okay, so this is how it's meant to be. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm doing now. Pull this, sorry. I'm sure someone like drop what do you think this is? What do you think that is? Anybody can help out? The handle. Yeah, thanks. At least you are following. So we'll do this and then bring this in. We'll soon be, it's 7. Oh. We have spent 1 hour out of how many hours? How many hours are we doing today, sir? 3. You can make it fully rounded, you can make it partially rounded, depending on what you are trying to achieve. So there are sometimes this roundedness work. There are some other times the roundedness is not encouraged. So you can make it partially rounded or fully rounded based on what you're trying to achieve. I do not have any, I hold no strong opinion on this one. So you just take this, transform. Okay, no, let me just double this first. Like this, like so, and then like so. You are trying to mimic 3D, by the way. You are faking your 3D view. This is faster if I am working alone. I confess it is really fast if I am working alone and I have nobody to talk to. But talking to people while making sense of what you are doing so they can make sense of it is and the dangerous thing about what I'm doing is that I have deconstructed it for you. The reason why I've deconstructed it for you is that I did not show you an handle and then say reduce it to a box. I don't know if you get my point. If I show you an handle and I say reduce it to a box visually, it makes it easy, but we don't have that time. We don't have the bandwidth to be doing that. So that's why we are doing what we are doing. That let's just keep it simple this way. I believe you can see it already. I mean, if you can, so that will not work twice. We just this allows originality in design because you will not need to trace. I'm saying so many things simultaneously, and I really hope you are listening. Anyway, this saves you. Oh, you copied my design. Oh, I was the one who designed that. Oh, that was the design I did. Embarrassment because it. Yes, you are getting the Adobe project. You are getting if you are in the, if you are in the Discord file. If you are in the Discord, yes, you are getting it. This saves you. Oh, you like you sort of see. I'm actually fooling you. You know why I say I'm fooling you? You still need a class for this, but it's not a paid class. So we'll just leave it the way it is, and we'll come back to this later. So yeah, it's not a paid class, so I will not overdo. Plus, we still have bigger things. We have bigger fishes to fry. So let's not do. It's not really imagination per se. Let me be careful with the way you gas people up. I beg. You are not learning the power of imagination. I don't have. Even if I was referencing trophy on the other monitor, the question will be, I'm seeing it and I'm designing it. But in the true sense, I'm actually just seeing it here. It's here, I'm seeing it in my head. So your imagination cannot be impoverished. You can't be going about with impoverished imagination and claim that you're a designer. Again, I'm saying this for even people who are just primarily UI UX designer, not just what's it called? The reason why you need to copy a lot of people's work, which in itself is not a bad thing, but the way designers can just be with their design sometimes, just let your hands off. Developers are a bit more sensitive, they're a bit more I wanted to say sensible, that's a bad thing to say. They're a bit more encouraging in that part because there's something like open source. But designers, not so much. We are not gracious with that. We don't even, someone can redesign someone's work, and by the time someone redesigns his own work, everywhere will be up in flames. You will say you stole my work. But the work you are claiming they stole wasn't even yours in the first place. You also learned it from someone, and the person you copied it from did not even complain. But you are complaining that your work has been stolen. So my point is this allows for originality. It helps you not need to take someone's work. You can take things in their actual state and reconstruct them for your own use. Like you can take things as they are and then reconstruct them. But you have to have a firm grip of perspective. That's why I keep telling people that if I ever decide to do a paid class, it's going to be a paid class. And it will be at least 3 months straight up. It's going to be a paid class and it will be at least 3 months. The first 2 months, you might leave because you wonder why we not started work yet. I will just be telling you, your eye need to know how to see. And until that happens, me and you have not started class. That would just be what I was saying at least. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that yet. I'll just be parroting that your eyes needs to know how to see. And then until that happens, me and you can't really start designing. Because until your eyes knows how to see things, and when I mean until your imagination is rich and fecund, you will struggle because you always need to look at people's work to have an idea of what you can do. So your idea of quality will never be original. The idea of quality will always be borrowed. How someone else sees it is how you will always see it. So if you notice, most people who have what I will call false competence, it's false in the sense that no, I'll just have to do this manually. Let me see if I can do that again. Transform, reflect, horizontal. We may have to do this manually. Transform, reflect, vertical. It achieves it, but halfway. So I will have to do this manually on the other side. It can't work that way. So people's idea of quality is borrowed. It's not yours, because if they leave you with an empty canvas and say design, I did that to someone who were intending to hire, and it didn't end well. That's just the summary. It didn't end well because she, by the way, she felt really frightened by an empty canvas and not knowing what to do. So she's used to references, and references is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Nobody should mishear me. Nobody should hear me wrong. References is not, having reference to design with is absolutely not bad. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it or with them, with having references to design with. My only issue with it is that without the reference, you will struggle. And why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I told her to design without a reference. She told me, she used a statement that triggered me. She said, everything you are looking at in this file is original. I said that word original. There are very few people who use it, and I would agree. I don't think I've gotten there yet. And she said, she felt insulted. That, what do you mean I've not gotten there yet? I said, okay, that's an empty canvas. She's not an illustrator, she's a product designer, by the way. Empty canvas. I gave you document and I said design. And then when she started designing, she felt somehow. She later told me she felt somehow that I made her feel small. I said, no, I showed you your actual state. In your actual state, you don't have enough. You don't have enough imagination. Your imagination is not ripe or rich enough for you to even design without reference. You can't do it. It's practically impossible. So most designers know how to look at reference and improve on them, and they claim they are OG or they claim they are pro. And I keep telling them that we have not even started. I mean, most time I sound modest when I say it, and I'm not even being modest. I'm being sincere because I've seen I have an Asian neighbor downstairs, who this thing I'm spending time doing. He just and it's done. It's faster than I am anyway. He works for an operating system company, but I won't say more than that. So it's good to stay like an artist, but at some point, you have to start having imagination of the artist. Your imagination has to be that of the artist. You must be able to see things before they are apparent. And until that really happens to you, you cannot claim to be a pro yet. Even me, I'm not a pro yet. I'm not being modest, by the way. Yeah, we can pull it down. That's not a problem. We can always pull this down. Let me be sure that I have not joined them. Okay, I haven't joined them together. Then what else are you picking? Okay. You can always pull it down and then adjust. Do you get how we made it destructive? No, we'll adjust it. All right. So I hope we are not being bored. Sorry. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm doing that to explain my position. Yeah, we are correct. We can always do that because it is not a straight line downward. So the imagination of an artist over stealing like an artist. Still like an artist, though, I strongly recommend it. And I'm not even, quote me anywhere. Still like an artist Still like an artist as early as possible, as clearly as possible, as quickly as possible. Reflect. But you cannot remain there all your career. It's practically impossible. If you remain there all your career, it will be hard for you to do anything meaningful. It's not a course. You'll be waiting on others to do something meaningful before you work on it. Your imagination will be too impoverished. And it will show. There's no way it will not show. Because when they give you an empty canvas and say you should start work, you will realize that there's nothing to draw from. And I did it with that girl. I still regret because she felt bad after. She unfollowed me, and people rarely unfollowed me. She unfollowed me because I wanted to send her a message, and I can't because she wasn't following me. I felt bad that it didn't. I just wanted to show you that. I just wanted to show her that when you say your work is original, I'm trying to prove to you it's not yet. And I don't mean that condescendingly. I'm just showing you that if I give you an empty screen for UI, again, it was not Illustrator, for UI, without a reference, your imagination is not rich for you to handle it. That's why for such people, if you give them work and say rework it, it will be hard for them to rework it because you don't presently have alternative in your head. You are not looking at a design and looking of 10 ways you can render it. Why? You have to know the 10 ways to even be able to consider it. And you don't know more than one way. And that one way is someone else's way. So your imagination by reason of how you have exercised is greatly limited. And that's why people have to spend time just staring at things. Well, I will not go further than that. The other one is for a paid class. This is not a paid class. Again, if it were a paid class, you will probably sleep up because the things we'll be doing will not be. Onos has warned me, it's Pinterest. There's nothing wrong if you rely on Pinterest repeatedly. The problem is just at some point, leave the crutches, the imaginative crutches alone and start doing it without it. And that is when you must learn to see things for what they are. You must learn to deconstruct. And I keep saying that I'm not being fair. You know why I'm not being fair? I am pointing out a problem, but I'm not giving you a solution. If I will give you the solution, you will pay. It's not going to be a free class. It's not even going to be 3 days. It will be 3 months. Nothing less than 3 months. You have a dashboard. I will list everything we are doing out one by one. No worry. Nobody is worrying us. You will learn. After that 3 months, you will buy me a gift, and I'm not even capping. You will buy me a gift or you will take me out. You say no. Because the things you are going to get exposed. You want me to give you a heart? You for me. What do you want to do with that? I said she unfollowed me because from that incident. No. Be careful. Okay, so banter. Let's get down to business. So I'm moving fast now. So I will not be showing you guiding lines again. I'm just saying it's already 7:15 now. I'm not even done. As much as you are claiming you need the class, you will probably sleep off the class. You know why? The boring part is the most important part. The boring part is when I tell you, drop your laptop, look at an object, deconstruct it visually. Let me contain myself. Let's go back. Let's go back to what we are just doing. That's a conversation for a paid class, very exclusive. It's not the one that will open link and then people will be joining. 15 minutes will say 15 minutes more. It will be a very exclusive class. And I don't think, even if I'll take an exclusive class, I think it will start from next year, not this year. There are still some things I'm learning. It will be very expensive. That's why I rarely do paid. If I want to do paid, it's going to be very expensive. I'm not missing words. If I want to do paid, where you get to learn things, it is going to be very expensive and it will take a long time. It's not 1 month, you watch video and then you say you're done. You will present, all of us will be watching you. It will not just be me. It is going to be like a proper classroom with your dashboard. You are the one allotted to presenting today. So come and present and explain to us. And what you're explaining has to make sense. So when you start coming from that angle, I promise you, the problem is that if I do that, my secret source will be out in the open. And I don't want that just yet. Let me make some crazy money first. After that, we'll be doing paid class. A lot of people are they have an exaggerated sense of their competence. And again, I'm saying this as genuinely as possible, that if you give me a designer to interview who is confident in themselves, leave that person with me. I don't, my goal there again is not to shame you. It's not, some people just derive joy in bringing people down or belittling people, or to show people that I am in a league of my own. You do not match up to me. That's not my point. My point is that I am acutely aware. My keyword here is acutely aware of what people don't know about themselves, because it took me time to discover that, okay, I think we are exaggerating all our competence, all of us. That the real designers, if you come around them and they see what we are calling competence, they will laugh at us. Okay, enough talk, bro. I have used talk to finish the work that I should have done. So yeah, but this is not product. Even on product design, I'm not going to go ultra on it. I'll just do what I need to do to make it compelling, and then we'll do from there. Product design itself is another conversation, but for another day. You know, in your room, it will accelerate people's learning curve. Even people who are juniors, people who are just learning, who are just starting, it will accelerate your learning curve a lot, by a mile. When you start seeing your work, like your living room, again, you must observe your environment. I'm saying things that are not apparent, so I will intentionally say it to obscure what I'm trying to say. You are not going to do anything to me. I am intentionally saying things that are obscured, so you will not understand. I'm just saying, so you will not say I should come again. I'm not coming again. I'm not coming again to anywhere. Everybody will catch there. I'm serious. There are some conversations that they are better at when you show. And that's why I think it was Sam I was telling that I am itching to do a paid class, but not yet. I am really itching to do a paid class, but it can wait. It literally can wait. My hand itches that, let's have a paid class where we all come together. But as much as I want to do that, I'm also telling myself it can wait, that because by the time I call you for paid class, you must have really saved up money. And God knows I'm not joking. And you will not be in a hurry. It's not the one you will watch 10 videos and then you get certified. That's not what we're doing here. You will present. You are not making presentation slides. You are presenting your thought process behind your deconstruction. I have been using one word since, but I don't think you have been paying attention. It's called deconstructor. You must see things in reverse. If you can't see things in reverse, you are not yet ready to start designing at some level. I've seen this in reverse, and so I can design it to look like what I am seeing. And until you learn to see things in reverse, it's like an artist listening to a song. Everybody enjoys it, but they are picking out all the parts that makes up the song, all the parts, the melody, the sound, the beats. That's what they are listening to. But you are enjoying your music, and you are really in how it makes you feel. But they are looking at all the things that make the song compelling, and that's what makes regular artists different from great artists. You must learn to listen to what people are not listening to. At the same time, when you see a design, you must learn to look behind. Hey, paid class. That's all. Those ones are for paid class. Let me stop talking and concentrate on what I'm doing. Those conversations again are for a paid audience. They are not there. I always make that mistake all the time, because I will just start saying things that if I start saying everything, there's nothing I'm going to hear that is new. Actually, even it's not even hearing it, it's showing. I'm careful not to show you my how things are, which is intentional. You people are not going to see anything here or yet. How one is for when people say I've paid you, and it's not going to be 1,075 people registering. It's probably just going to be 20. The way I will so sit on you. You probably will hate me and unfollow me too, like that babe did, but I mean, it will be worth it at the end of the day. I believe so. I believe so. Say gatekeeping. It's not necessarily gatekeeping. It's that as much as I do a lot of talking on the internet, there are important things I don't say. Like, as much as I talk a lot, which I'm acutely aware of, there are a lot of things I don't say. When I see some design, I just smile. because a lot of people don't see things until it is apparent. It's only when everybody sees it and appreciates it, you see it and appreciate it. We don't move like that, man. Okay, so yeah, we are almost done. Enough of the rants. Let me just wrap up faster now, and then we should call this a day and move to the next thing we are working on. Yes, the paid class, I will treat you like an absolute beginner. That's why I said some people will be offended. I will not assume you know anything about design, and I don't need you to be cocky with me. That's why I'm saying that you would give me absolute. You will give me absolute. When I say absolute, I'm using my words carefully. I'm a graduate. I'm using my words carefully. You will give me absolute authority over your decision making in relation to design. Let me balance it up. The absolute authority I'm talking to, please, is in relation to design. That's what I mean by you give me absolute authority over your decision making in relation to design. I will look at your design and judge you well. If you don't come with the mindset of you are good already, you just need me to validate. I will tell you what you want to hear. That one is not hard. I will approach you with the mind of you don't know anything, and then I will start from scratch. That's what I was almost doing now when I said no, it's not a paid class. I already have an idea of how a paid class will run. And genuinely speaking, it's not how normal class will run. Even if it's no, you should join. Sorry. Even if the paid class, let me take that section out. Even if the paid class is for seniors, we will talk to ourselves like we are just starting. Because I have learned a great deal from folks that I am eager to show somebody else what I've learned. But the more I think about it, the more I say, well, let them just go and earn their certificate. Plus, on a normal day, my table is always full. My table is relatively free this weekend. That's why I decided to do this. If you have noticed, a lot of things are hurried. We did not start. A lot of things are hurried. If you check the message that was sent, you will know a lot of things, even down to the planning, are hurried. They are not. It's not as though I had a plan a week before, ahead of time, or something like that. We will treat ourselves like we are just starting, and you will come with the mindset that we are just starting. All right. So let's move on faster now. There's so many points that are not. Okay. Did someone just say, let connect my brain cells? No, don't start. You and this your dangerous whining. You have started. Okay. Please let me tell this lady I'm presenting. All right, so I think we can continue and wrap things up. Please don't skip this part. Precision matters. Even if people won't notice, well, some people who have been illustrating for a long time will notice when things don't look aligned. when they don't feel aligned, when they look like they have been rushed, or they feel out of place. Again, people who have been illustrating for a long time will notice that things are not neat or they are not well presented. So don't skip them. Sometimes illustrating might take you a day. Sometimes, I mean, depending on where you are. Even for someone who has been illustrating for a while, like I am, sometimes illustration will take you a day, and then you just have to stay the course. All right. All right. So can we see it now? Um, um, just clear this part out because they are going to carry their own distinct colors. Okay. So depending, the other things are just the line, the fringes. Depending, the other things are, you see that the angle this is facing is different from the angle this is facing. This is flapping. This is like tilting up. Then, but this is sitting down, and then it's not just going to end with this. By the way, there are a lot of things that still have to go on the side. I don't know if you have ever seen me draw something like this before. There are still a lot of sorry. There are still a lot of things that have to go together with it. This one, it doesn't matter how the lines connect. It's just you are trying to show a ribbon that has been used. So the goal is to just connect the points. I'll move fast and just connect the points. I hate this lapses. Sorry, I hate it with passion because nothing so much has takes hits your time like those lapses. So yeah, like this, and then okay. So here we have it. So yeah, we would still do more. Someone said 3D doodles. Yeah, we'll still do more. We are meant to do a bit of confetti, but those things. But I will send for all of these files I'm doing. I will send a more robust. You don't. I'm not believing everybody yet. I'm not belittling anybody when I say you don't need price just yet. Because it's easy to say, give us price range. The last person I was guiding that when you claim to do original design, I literally can tell who these designs are from. She literally unfollowed me because she just felt like it's time consuming because I am teaching linking. If I am left alone, there's a different approach I'm going to take to this. Let me take water, please. Okay. Yes, I've been standing, by the way. We stand on business here. Okay, so we are done. Was there another? What was the other thing we mentioned that we have to design? Please, anybody, someone should help me quick. If you are on the Discord channel, you'll find all these assets there. So don't worry. That's not. You need not worry. Whether you're on Discord channel or not, I strongly suggest you still try and design. Whether illustration is your forte or not, just try and design. It's a net positive for you. Even when the design has nothing to do with product, it's a net positive for you. Having said that, let me continue. Okay, so what are the things? Okay, so phone call, paper, suitcase, cap, tool. Okay, so let's do tool or hammer, badge, paper. We still have a long way to go. Paper and magnifying glass. Okay, I mean that's quite straightforward. That's pretty straightforward. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a lot of time again. Like we would like to behave or pretend that we do. Which one is easier to do? Let me just do this. I'm just trying to move fast. Please bear with me. So I'm entering my logo mode. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen. You must see it before it is done. That's the agreement we had. It must become apparent before it is obvious. You must see it before it is apparent. Anyhow, you remember it. Good for you. But I really want to believe that you know what I am saying and you can see what I am saying. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with me. Can you see what I am saying? Do you copy? Over. I wanted to say anybody that gets it, I will do something, but honestly, I don't have anything to do. So let me just keep quiet. So when I say get your fundamentals right, I just want to clarify that this is what I mean when I say get your fundamentals right. These are your fundamentals that needs to be gotten right. Funny thing is that if you do drawings too, of any kind or any sort, you should, in a sense, be able to make sense of what I am saying, because drawing, largely a lot of the things I like to teach in product or in a paid class can be understood when you start doing drawing. When you start doing drawing, I mean drawing human form of every kind or manner. It's not necessary. I'm not saying you learn how to use human form in your design, but it helps you see things it's like seeing, God, I wanted to say it's like seeing men as trees. You see things as they are actually, not as they appear to be. Okay. Enough said. Just stay with me. Can you see it now? Illustration is not borrowing from art. Illustration is mimicking art. Someone said magnifying glass. What am I doing? Anybody want to give it a go? The person who said magnifying glass really sounds really fun. Magnifying glass, paper scroll. Yeah, Kanye. I hope I called your name correctly. You got it. It's literally a paper scroll. Paper scroll, yes. Thank you. But there's no price to be won. I'm sorry. Someone said you are doing what you are saying, and there's nothing more accurate actually. I am literally doing what my eyes can see. Is it obvious now? I guess it is. Did anybody see Ama? I beg you, Amake. Okay, so yeah, like this. I mean, it should gradually become obvious now. What my play is at. Okay, so you forward, Master Ogwe. You only Master Ogwe. So all those illustration design and I to constitute hours. Nope. They took me months, 3 months actually, everything. And that was because I had a lot of tasks from work and I had other things. I had a gig I was doing on the side. So there were a lot of things I was doing on the side that took my attention. But other than that, even if I did not have, I would have been bored to death just doing one thing for that period of time. So effect. I'm this slow because you are learning and you are watching and you are seeing. If I say I want to move at my pace, you will have too many questions, much more than what is going on. Plus, I need to talk so you don't slip off or you don't get bored. Distort and transform. Zigzag. Okay, command Y. I'm sorry, but what's going on? Okay. Did you all see how it was done, Sha? I hope so. No, we will not need this. This is communicating receipt, so we don't need this. Sorry, we just need it as a straight line to show document, not receipt. So yes, design requires patience, but when you start locking some things in early, you will not need to be going the way I'm going. I'm going the way I'm going to let you know that a lot is required. A lot actually is required anyway. So this now remember we are using this asset as a means to stay on brand design, as a means to explore brand design. So I mean, most people just see finished work on the internet. This is where you get to see what it means to be an illustrator. But this is just a subset of brand design, by the way. I'm just repeating it that this is brand design. This is not the end. This is not the end in itself. The end in itself is the brand we are going to use it for. That's what really, really matters. So we don't get distracted that this is what we came here to do. No. This is going to be used somewhere. So when you see those illustrated assets in your UI, I hope you have a bit more renewed respect for illustrators, people who make those assets. That it's not as easy as just moving. It's not as easy as just moving stores around. And most importantly, you also realize why I ran away from brand. That brand takes more time. It does anyway. And pay, okay, I shouldn't say pay less because that's a very subjective pick. It doesn't apply to everybody that way. It doesn't apply to everybody that way. So let me just add. Add. And we are doing our magnifying glass now. And we are done with this. So I would, by the time it's on, I'm sending to, by the time I'm sending it to Discord, you are going to be seeing a completely revamped or probably something better than this. So in summary, you are not going to be seeing this. You are going to be seeing something better than this. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what will land in Discord. Because to carry more color, I will apply color and then apply things. Yes, it can. They are just tools. The primary thing is your imagination. What we are working with are just tools. So it's your imagination that is at play. If once your imagination is right, but I prefer the flexibility. I literally prefer the flexibility Adobe gives me. That's why I'm. That's why you always find me here. I believe so that yes, this degree of work can be done on what's it called? Please, what are we working on? Document and paper and magnifier, I guess. I've spoken so much, I've completely lost track of my own thoughts. Paper and magnifier. Paper and magnifier. Hey God. I have completely lost track of what I have said. We are working on paper and magnifier, I believe. Did someone just say bet Nigeria ticket? Okay, so yeah. The easiest work we'll do will be on Figma. Everybody should know why. That one is tomorrow. The easiest work we'll do, I promise you, that one is on Figma. That's the easiest work to do because we'll be moving insanely fast. But here, we must take our time to ensure things are done well. And we will not compromise. All right. Take it out. You don't mind. Take it out. You come here. Take out the excess line. At least it's gradually becoming apparent, I guess. Paper and magnifier, yeah. We are going to be moving away from here quickly. I'm not adding the details yet, so we'll come back to add the detail later, but not now. We'll come back and do all the detailing. I will do that literally independently, so I don't take your time. We will soon drop off from this class to resume to MAU. Today is Friday. If you check, let me just reconstruct it. If you check, I have not opened my layers at all, which is not right. In Speed, this is Speed Adobe Illustrator, Kende Emmanuel. So what I was saying earlier is that you notice I am not checking my layers because I am not animating. If I were to animate, which we will on this app, so everybody would, the animators among us probably, I'll plead with them to take this up as a challenge. So they should reconstruct and try and animate by themselves of their own volition. So if you notice, I'm not even checking the layers. I'm never arranging things on layers because I am not animating. Once I start animating, it will be a completely different approach. That's just my point. The approach will be completely different. Yeah. The assets will be made available. If you're not on the, that's the whole point of pleading with people to register. If you did not register at any point, if you are not on this error. If you did not register at any point and you're not on the Discord channel, you don't have an asset to work with. I'm sorry, you will have to reconstruct it from either the video or your imagination. This is what I've been telling people to register. It's not paid. And well, not that I will have run a paid class anyway. I don't think I have the bandwidth for paid now. Because paid is such a commitment that I don't think I can go through now. I don't even think I'll survive it. Except I just want to eat your money around. I see it, man. I see it. Illustrator can be such a demanding tool. But yeah, if you know what you're doing. All right. So we are done with this. On to the next. On to the next. Whose money is mine? Someone said my money is yours. Or probably they were talking to somebody in the group chat. Tomorrow will be faster. I'm probably more, because tomorrow we'll spend time on them. We'll just go straight. We'll be done with all of these assets. So we'll go straight into this thing. So you notice I did not need this is it. If you notice, let me take this. I did not use grid line for this. I don't need grid line for this particular one we have done. For the basic work I am doing, I just phased it. I don't need grid lines for this. So I'm just saying that there are different approaches to it. Different approach entirely. There are some instances you need to use grid line, so it will make sense. And there are some instances you literally don't need grid line. Just if you know what you're doing. This, if you notice, I'm faster now because I'm not tracing a line to make things obvious or to make things well done. What else did you write down, please? Let me just arrange all of these things accordingly. What else did we note? Okay, so what else did we note down that we were illustrating? And these are key illustrators because these are how we are illustrating cap, yes. It has to, yeah. All right. Shall we? Yes, we shall. We'll move fast. It's going to follow the same structure. If you're on Discord, you see, I've been saying it anyway, but I'm saying it for the last time. You see much more, if you're on Discord, you see much more refined stuff here. So let's Command C, Command F, take the one at the top away. Then scale this down. Then make it rounded. Effect, stylize, rounded corners, 1000. Yeah, okay. Then well, if you can run him from Illustrator, I don't think there's, as long as you always, for me, I don't do 3D. And then not to do Illustrator, just feel like I'm doing myself a great disservice, because I don't like it when I don't have power over my own assets. It means that you are at the mercy of whatever the internet gives you as your asset. I don't know if you get my point. You become literally at the mercy of whatever the internet gives you. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be at the mercy of what the internet gives me, because sometimes I have an idea in my head and object. Sometimes you have an idea in your head, but you can't, except, well, another thing you can do is make more money for other people. You just partner with an illustrator and then see how the person translates your work or translates the work. I do that for people I trust their competence. Not even on other things, then even Illustrator. Even if there is not the time I do my illustration. Sometimes I pass it on to people who I trust completely to handle it. And there are other times I just do my thing myself. So I don't want to ever lose that. This thing is meant to touch. Just give me a minute. I don't want to ever lose that autonomy. That's why I'm always practicing. Again, now you get to see behind the scene of how it's done. Okay. Right. At least whenever we are done with this project and anybody sees it on the internet, you will always remember the kind of effort it took. I hope the devs are here so they will also be kinder to us and realize why we are touchy with our design. That, do it exactly the way I gave you, please. Yes, there are a lot of perks for knowing how to illustrate as a product designer, but they are paid. I'm sorry. There are a lot of perks. The general one I know I can tell, which is big anyway. The general one I know I can tell you, but I know it's vague because what do I mean by that? Any sensible person should ask is that you need to deconstruct. Is the biggest thing I can say to anybody. Why? Because I know exactly what I mean. I know what it means when I say deconstruct, that, oh, you need to deconstruct. I know fully well what I mean. And I'm not going to say anything until someone says, bah, I've paid when is class starting. Until we do that, when I'm going to do, we're going to do not man. Okay, one. So okay, so like that, and then we don't need a fact. Sorry, yeah, but at least now you catch my drift that it's not that knowledge is not free. So you the way you pass so much in hurry to say give me price, I just find it fascinating. Some things are easier said than done. It's not really that straightforward. Um okay, let me just do it. I don't know if you get me, Sha. Probably people are intentionally missing the point. I don't know which one is even funnier. Maybe the fact that people are intentionally missing the point, or you don't get me at all. That if I want to take a design class, it's not going to be like this. It's not where where they will say, oh, if if you are not convinced, you can ask for refund. You can this, you can that. You can ask for refund. Don't get me wrong, but you won't ask for refund because by the time we start, we will not even start with design. That's a mistake. I'm saying I don't do the talk. Let me leave. Before, if I'm not careful, we'll spend till 9 and we'll not have even finished. Don't worry. People, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry, love. You people should just don't worry. Let's leave design talk alone and for many price alone. Don't be in a hurry to ask for price. I'm begging you. Let me see if it fits well. Okay, just a bit. Because by the time price come now, I'll just let people start saying, ah. On top of what? No, I have to do it right. That's good. I don't think we are almost done. Don't worry. Almost, almost. Okay. So we group this. Uh, no, it's meant to feel rounded, not that. I have to manually adjust. No, you are too thick. It needs to be thin, bro. Mm, I'll come back to it then. Let me just do this and see what I can do here. A bit. Yeah, we're good. Did someone just say you go tears here? You can um, you people can be something else entirely. I have never had that before. I'm sorry. What do you? God, we don't have this time. I'm using to laugh. We have literally said to us. You could tears here for brain. New vocabulary picked up. I shall be using that. You could. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know who said that. Yeah. So you people see why I always argue that mouse is better than. Well, genuinely, some people. If I was doing all of this on, uh, if I was doing all of this on trackpad, which is possible, forget the banter online. You have me. I will have friction bond here. You will notice this place is flat. It will be too flat and too painful. I will have friction bond. That's why um I don't do illustrate. I generally don't even use my trackpad. Friction bond, I will always have friction bond if I use trackpad. So, but yeah, it's possible on trackpad, but for me it feels like punishment. Why? Um, but yeah, to everybody their own. I hope nobody here follows you for. Don't follow him. Don't do what is there. Okay, so yeah, then we are almost done. Almost. The reason why we are expanding appearance is that the system 662 line, though you have applied the pattern, never mind. You don't need that information because we need to move fast. Call this class quit and then come tomorrow for the real thing, which is UI design. Because I know majority of you really are just waiting for UI design. So we'll come and do that tomorrow. But before we do that tomorrow, we need to. Okay, no, it can come in through a line. We don't mind. All right, we would come back to do the rest. Don't worry, we'll not go past our time. We'll not go past our time here so that everybody can go and rest in good time. There's nothing I want to do to you if your head is not taking additional information. We say we are dealing with cap and what? Cap and what did you say we are doing to represent school? Hi, Mide. I'm greeting you too. Cap and what did you say we are doing? I have been accurately. I've been designing for a long. Again, when I mean your imagination needs to be fecund. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. That's why I said if I will take a design class, I've been saying it because I don't think people have been paying attention that your eye, me and you don't see the same thing. And it's easy to tell when you're with a designer whose eyes, what they call it heightened perception. You know how to look at a design and in your head, you just go and reconstruct. And that's why I have undying respect for people who look at the design as simple as it is. Vivid imagination, thank you. Your imagination needs to be fecund. So a lot of the time, we train our hand more than we train our eyes. Most people fall into that error. Kai, paid class conversation. Drop money, we'll talk. Like I said earlier, if I will have this conversation with anybody, it is that, I've paid, and then can we start class? So we said, so please, what else did you say? Drop price, you go pay. Some things are so easy to say. I don't want you to run off even from the live session. That's why I'm being careful about it. To drop price is not hard. But this is not a paid class, like I said. So let's leave money alone. Let's just focus on what we came here for, please, shall we? Let's leave money talk alone. Because the day we call price, you will actually need sponsorship. Someone will have to sponsor you. Someone will have to sponsor you to do paid. I'm just being, except you. Except you. Yeah, so what are the other things you say we are designing? Please, very quickly. I will soon release everybody now. We'll go and rest. What are the other things you say we are designing? What are the other things we said we are designing? Let me take this out. God, I beg, okay. No, okay, sorry, it's not me. I'm sorry, I'm not belittling anybody. I'm just saying that if I call price, Hammer, okay, Hammer. If I call price for most folks, they would. It is is inevitable. You would. No, we don't need this. Make we just leave. Let's leave money alone. Let's focus on class. Hammer and spanner. Thank you. Let's focus on class, please. I mean that completely. What we are doing here is really, really important. Okay, I can actually use this. No pressure. I can use this, but change the direction. This class is this class is even primarily for UI design. How we ended up spending an obscene amount of time. Though I knew that illustration would take time anyway. If I say I don't know, I'm being dishonest. I knew illustration will take time, and I'm here for it. That's why I know that. Don't worry. Once it's exactly 20 minutes to go, we'll stop and then we'll discuss. Whichever place we stop, we stop. But if you're on the Discord channel, you'll see the design ready. What am I doing? 40. Okay, sorry. I'm looking for 25, 30. Yep. Good enough. Oh, illustration is time consuming. Is it interesting? Even the interesting part, I would argue that it depends. You must have become thoroughly familiar with it for you to see it as interesting. And until that happens, you will struggle. So you don't get too carried away with someone who has achieved fairly a bit with it, designing with it, and then well, I mean, I've not lied to anybody yet, so you know it's a lot of work. I have not fooled anybody. It's a lot of work. The good thing is that tomorrow, by the time we come for the class, there will be all the assets will be ready. So we'll just dive straight into what's it called? We'll dive straight into product design. So people who actually are meant to learn product design will experience it firsthand tomorrow. I mean, you can already see. I mean, you can already see what I'm getting at, can't you? I believe so. I believe so. I'm not adopting. No. I'm not adopting. Um, what's going on? Hold on, please. Oh, sorry. This is what I need to control down. This is okay. All right. So it has to look like an claw hammer here. People are wild. Like, is there some things you are saying? And I'm just wondering how some people's imagination are actually working. I'm not going to lie. Someone is calling it Thor's hammer. Thor's hammer is not like this, by the way. Um, so that doesn't fly. Don't worry, like I said earlier, we will not go past the time. That's a promise. We will wrap up in record time and everybody can go and rest because I need everybody in their UI is a bit more, it requires a bit more of logic. So, and I need everybody in their best selves tomorrow when we have, and we are going to have 2 sessions tomorrow. So that's, but if you're on the, what's it called? If you're on the Slack channel, did I just say Slack? Sorry. If you're on the, okay, so beautiful. What we'll do now is to scale this to match this edge size. Yeah, we'll scale it up a bit again. Yeah. This feels proportional now. Yeah. All right. I hope you people are taking note too. And I hope it's banter when you say you can say nobody's taking notes. I literally hope you are taking notes. I've been saying a lot of things, so like I legit hope at least someone is taking notes. The way you are laughing, I'm saying a lot of laugh emoji, and I'm having the feeling like you are saying. I really hope at least someone is taking notes. At least someone is saying, talking all the things I've been saying. You have not just been watching, but you have actually been noting things down. Based on the fact that you see things differently now. I legit also, and I'm not joking. I should have actually asked if anybody's taking notes. If nobody took notes, that's the cue that next talking tomorrow. No talking, no. Zero talking, in fact. Just to go down to business, bro. And if someone say, why is he not saying anything? We'll all answer in unison that the last time he spoke, nobody took note. Okay, we have 48 minutes to go, so we'll start to slow down here and start to take questions. Questions. Don't worry, by tomorrow morning, you would have a fully ready illustrated asset, fully. So at least now you would have an idea of how they were done. Not that I would just send it to you and then you would say thank you. You would literally have an idea that this must have taken insane amount of work, and I'll say yes, it did. You would not just say, oh, this is the asset we'll use, so and so this is the asset, take it. You sort of like, you would not empathize per se. It will make sense to you how things are being done. And why they are done that way. Let me make it longer. Come on. If I can lose it inside, that would be great. Yeah, it's better that way. It needs to connect. If anybody will have access to it, you definitely have to be on the Slack channel, on the Discord. I've been saying Slack since. You definitely have to be on the Discord. Then you have access to it. At least it's not paid now. Hour. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the AMA. Are we? Fairly done. Fairly done. We are not fully done, but we are fairly done. Just stay with me. No AMA is really squarish like that. So we have to get this part right. Just give me a minute, I'm coming. I don't advise what I am doing. Always remember your guiding lines. So you would do the right thing if you are doing this. All right, I'm almost done. Almost. But I have said almost like how many times since. But believe me now, I am almost done. Now I mean it when I say I'm almost done. So I mean, it depends on the kind of hammer you're trying to draw to. Object, effect. Stylize, rounded corners. What did I use? Okay, they are just one was object, effect, rounded corners. Yes, that is how hammers look like at the edge. Yeah, I don't think you people should feel overwhelmed. This is not an illustration class, by the way. This is a product class. I am only intentionally showing the people who may claim they want to learn illustration. Expand. And I'm not even doing flat illustration intentionally. So the app sort of have a 3D feel and is lively. So my point exactly is that all these things is not meant for you. It's meant for someone who wants to learn Adobe Illustrator, which I don't think majority of you are. You are just students. Error. Expand, yeah. You are just students by necessity. Don't worry. So, but if I would not be dishonest with any of you, whether money is involved or not, if I would not be dishonest, there are a lot of principles you would take here that literally applies everywhere you are designing, which is you must learn to see things before they are even apparent. If you recreate it, yes, please do. There's no reward for you other than the joy you will feel when you recreate it. I don't make any outlandish promises. Please do if you can. It will help you. It will greatly help you, by the way. So yeah, please do if you can. And again, like I started with, this is not an illustration class. So it's product. We are just showing you design processes end to end. And we have just done, how many have we done in how many hours? I'm almost getting to the end though. Thank you for riding with me. Thank you all for riding with me. We are reaching the tail end of today's class. It's not the end for me anyway, but at least I get to move fast without eyes pouring at me. So I can just get to do my designs faster that way. So this is how hammer look like, and even this part is usually not this smooth, but for the sake of the design, we will leave it alone. I'll come back to it. So this is how hammer looks like. I believe so, and I believe you know so. All right, so we are done with hammer. 829 will be illustration is not hard per se. It's please permit me to sit. I've been standing for 2 hours, 28 minutes. All right, so we are going to hit a pause here, and then we start asking, which is the most complex? It's not they are all complex, Olamide. I think that's the first question we're getting. They are all complex. You are just choosing mastery. The more you master things, the more it will appear complex to someone who hasn't mastered it. Thank you, Laura, by the way. Thank you, goodness. So the more you master things, the more it appears. So let me save this. So we have been able to successfully do how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2 hours, 30 minutes. That's poor. I'll probably move faster by the time we are done with this, and then I'll drop it in I'll post it on Twitter so you can all see it. But you'll see the finished, fully formed one, not this. I'm taking you through the process. So there's no one that is not complex. I'm answering the person as the first one. Is how far are you willing to go when you want to gain mastery? When they now ask you to teach illustration to people, you have to go to Pinterest and then be looking for references. Is your imagination fecund enough? Don't you have resources inside you? Can they wake you up middle of the night and say, teach this person, teach this thing to this person? And you not say, oh, I need this, I need that. Can I get the internet? It's not, Daniel, illustration is not basically attention to detail. Attention to detail is the basic requirement to claim mastery. That attention to detail has to be there by default. I'm just saying it because we are on Illustrator. Right now I'm going to product design too. You start to think that product design requires a lot of dialectical thinking. It does. So is there a specific advantage to illustrating like this, except maybe for proper proportion guide? Because personally, if I need to illustrate something like this, I'll just draw them freehanded. Great. You do what is called visual coherence. First trace it and then just adjust proportion according to the need. Maybe you're open to learn. Yes, it works whichever way. That's why I said There's no one approach to it. I'm saving myself time having to go and sketch and then having to trace things. That's why I don't need to trace. You people meet Cheesy later. I don't need to trace. Cheesy, I met him formally today, and that's the guy who worked on he's a beast. He doesn't need to design, he just codes directly, and his designs are very, very convincing. The person who said he's going to work on any app that we design that is going to build, he's a beast. Momo is a beast. Momo made new design. Balogun, beast. I'm just saying that there are people also, it depends on your ability. I used to sketch. I have sketching. This is my sketching pad. I sketch with it. Let me see if there are sketches I can show you. I sketch with them. But from time to time, can you see this? I sketch too. But from time to time, when I need to get on with work, it's not everything I use. I don't like tracing in all instances. Why? Because tracing means there is already an existing thing on ground you are tracing on. Even if you are the one who sketched it, you need a reference. There's a reference you are layering it on. So that is why I'm saying that this is superior to tracing, because you don't have anything you are layering on. Imagine if there's nothing to sketch with. How will you illustrate then? You probably will not be able to illustrate until you sketch, which is not a bad thing, but it's still in a sense limiting. It's like, I don't know if you watch Naruto. Never mind. But yeah, this is the highest jujutsu. So you get to the highest form of being able to take it directly from your head to the screen, not where it's skater. So can you recommend YouTube channels to help better with our imagination that seems really and get better creativity? This is the reason why I said if I want to do design, you will pay a lot. I have never seen it on the internet. However, they say it indirectly. I won't say more than that. Next one, how do you improve your imagination and creative thinking as a designer? You must learn to see things the way they are meant to be seen, in proportion. I won't say more than that. How do you draw your guiding lines to the right proportion? My guiding lines are just helping me show you what I am doing. They are not meant for me. They are called guiding lines because they are meant to guide my illustration so that it can make sense to you. But for me, I might not necessarily need it. That's why they are called guiding lines. Was there a point that level of detail which the club is barely visible? It might have been easier to design a mallet instead with both sides elliptical. Yes, I choose the more complicated one. I'm flexing. How do you improve your imagination and creative thinking as a designer? You have to see things with intentionality. You know, most times people, it's almost like, so I'll call it system one and system two thinking. System one thinking is that you see it, you love what you're looking at, you're excited. System two thinking is that you ask yourself, what is it about this design that excites me? That is product design 101. Thinking from behind. You pause, everybody's excited. What is it that makes them excited? You will spend time, if you're just new to it, you will spend time deconstructing things. I've been saying this probably since COVID generally, but I know most people don't listen. They only listen when they see. You have to spend time, stare at things, and ask, why does it catch my attention? Product design 101 again. But nobody has paid me yet, so we'll not go more than that. The mind is a powerful tool when trade actions. In product design, there are some kind of illustration and branding. That's why I see product designers contract that part to illustration designers. Correct. I contract that part to myself. Abiola, you're absolutely correct. How do you mix illustration and product design as beginners so you don't master one at the other? Learn it haphazardly. Learn it unstructuredly. Learn it, start today. Jump on, don't worry about structure too early. Don't box yourself with, oh, I must become prominent in, or I must gain perfection in product design before I do illustration. Learn it haphazardly, learn it half-heartedly, learn it, and when you post it, people are like, oh, don't call yourself a product designer. Just keep learning. You are like a child trying to fetch water in between two buckets. Don't be too bothered with one is full, the other is not full. Just keep pouring it. If one gets full to an overflowing, great. If the other doesn't get filled at all, just keep pouring it. You don't need to box yourself with structure. Why? So you don't get you don't start to feel discouraged internally when you see other designers. And that's why curiosity has to drive you. If curiosity doesn't drive you, you get easily discouraged. These things are not things you master in 2 months. That's why at least I shared about take classes 3 months, and that 3 months is followed up by another 3 months. If I'm going to take you class on design, best believe it's literally equivalent to mentoring. But don't worry, I'm not going to force you to design my own style. I'm a gray-white kind of person. You can still use your own style of design. But we both will look at design and we smile because we know what we're both saying. Which is the lowest entry material task that can help improve or work on the deconstructing skill that I just saying a product? Physical products. Go and look at CAD designers on Illustrator. I'm giving one of my secrets, by the way. CAD designers. You know, I said one time, a long time ago on the internet, that I love woodwork. When I watch a lot of woodwork, before they form out a particular style of design, it's just flat wood and sometimes fully rounded with click. Carve out things. What I have been doing since is I've been chipping out, it's just boxes. I've been chipping out what I particularly need out of those boxes. Am I confusing you? I am doing woodwork, but on Illustrator. I don't know if I'm confusing you. Yes. So let me move on. You must learn to see things as box. That's why I said also learning how to draw will help you, because this is a box, this is a box, this is a box, this is a box. My whole torso is a box, all connected together. You chisel out what you want to see. It's the same thing in Illustrator. System thinking one. So illustration with product can take on different perspective. Yes. Funny thing is that because you stayed in this class, there are things I will do on product design tomorrow that will make sense to you. That will not make sense to someone who has just been doing product design primarily. And that's why someone like Ogu's on the internet, when you see him design, his designs are otherworldly. You just know that he has cross-pollinated effectively. Okay. Can someone who isn't naturally good at art still become proficient in illustration too? Yes, nobody's born with that trait. Nobody's Michelangelo. I wasn't born with naturally good. You can be instructed, you can be taught. It depends on who is teaching. Because look at me, stay with me. Can I show you that example now? No, I won't show you that example now. If the person who is taking you that class, I'm answering your question, is not intentional with you being precise. If they start making compromises, that compromise after 3 months will look like a caricature of an actual designer. Precision matters. When I started this, you saw a lot of protruding lines that were going left and right. By the time I was done, you could see a clear view of it. And I've seen all them because I've now added color, shadow, and highlight. So it is, if I take you design, you will not touch color for like 2 months. I promise you. We are just going to dealing with the skeletal framework of things. Things have to be appealing in just line. And that the same thing applies to product design. Your product design has to be appealing in black and white. If I don't get convinced in lo-fi, forget colors. You can fool anybody with colors. All right. What's the correct pathway to learn product design? What's the starting point to get into your level? I mean, like ABC. Genuinely speaking, there is no correct way. There isn't a starting way. That's why I said the person who asked previously that how can I learn both? Whichever way you start, if you start learning with designing a whole product before you learn to design components, I will correct it that start to design components first. But some people went from whole to minute, and some people went from minute to whole. But my preference is go from minute to whole, go from infinitude to a large bedside view. However, people have different approaches. Some people started learning design, they were terrible. If you see their design, and they started taking time to learn the components, the parts that makes up the whole. Spend time on it and they became proficient. If you ask me, I would say let your building blocks be convincing. Then start building with them. Rather than building a whole house and then adjusting the blocks one by one. However, there's no right or wrong way. There's just curiosity. Let me see. Is there another question? What can you say about being a perfectionist? Sometimes I fall into that loop and do less. If I were a perfectionist, I am promising you I will not have left this. Do you want me to point out errors here? I can't. This star is still not looking proper. This star, that's one of the errors you look at here. This star is not properly aligned. This star is not properly aligned. You might tell me, you look at this place. If I want to properly align the star, this is how it should look like. I'm just letting you know that there are some things I let go of easily. It should look like this and come forward. It should follow the same alignment. I could spend the whole day just trying to align the star if I were to be a perfectionist. I like precision, but I try not to be a perfectionist. But precision, yes. No rogue line, no this, no that. It must be appealing as it is, yes. If I were a perfectionist also, I will not leave this like this. This looks odd. I'm still going to adjust it. This is what you will see when you see it next. Let me just show you what I mean. So I'm saying that I can relate to what you are saying, but I know how to move on when I need to. And then I will come back to you. This is what you will see if you see this next. This is what you are going to see, my friend. I'm just saying that by the time I am done, I will now take my time and all the parts I hurried through, all because I don't want people to just sit and stare at me doing one thing for a long time. I'm not going to go back to them and then adjust them. I don't know if you catch my drift. This is how it will look, but no problem. Let me just leave it like this. You will not make sense of what I'm looking at and what I'm doing now until when I'm done. Don't worry. And by the time I'm done, then it will make sense. I don't know if you can even see it already. I'm pointing to errors in my own design that ordinarily nobody would notice. Or they might notice and out of respect, they might just overlook it and keep quiet. Because things have a certain perspective they carry. And those perspectives have to be honored. So this is the perfectionist me working now. Do you get my point? Even here, I will say adjust. This is the perfectionist in me. I know I said I'm not touching design again. Coming out. So can you see that this is better than what you saw before? Do you agree? I don't know. I don't know who asked that question, but do you agree that this is far better than what you saw initially? Yes, whether I agree or not. Let me move on. Okay, so know the difference between precision and perfection and learn to adjust. If not, you will always hit delay on your deliverables and you would wound yourself. There are some things people would not notice because people are not as perceptive as a designer, if you have gotten to that point. Moving on. Can someone be done in Figma? There are some things you did here that feels impossible in Figma. Yes, I say I have flexibility here. I would not say outrightly that you can't do it in Figma. The approach to achieving it will just be different in Figma. And I've been using Illustrator long before I started Figma. So I'm very comfortable here. I'm faster here. Speed is something I'm always taking my time on because I have this terrible habit. I can be very finicky with this thing. I can spend the whole day just trying to get the right balance. So yes, there are limits to following this exact approach, tool for tool on Figma. That's why I prefer this. What you just mentioned about woodwork, is that what helped with knowing what to take away and being shape builder to? How would you start to see more clearly? I spent a truckload of time checking woodwork. And then I realized that when people show you things like this, stay with me. When people show you things like this, I showed it to you people here, but I did not show you the actual truth because you people did not pay me. Assuming you paid me, I would have showed you like I was chipping away the sites, so you'll have seen it. But I will show you one. Nobody should do liberties with me, please. But can you see this? Let me just drop this. Everything you look at is being formed out of something. Two things actually. A box. I'm saying this even for product designers. Okay, let me show you let me show you if it was a paid class, this is what I will have done first. I will have told you that this is what you are looking at. This is what I did. It was considered that it was inside here, and I just chiseled it out. But in chiseling it out, I have to know exactly what I want, and that's what I went for. Now, I am still being vague, intentionally so. Some things are for a pre-class. If I wanted to teach you properly, this is how I will start. I will start with this, and then I will let you know that this is sitting on a base. There are 3 sections. Section 1, Section 2, up until the hilt, and then Section 3. Can you all see it? You chisel out this part at the top, you chisel out the middle, and then you chisel out the base. So there's something wrong with the alignment, with the arrangement. But I hope you get my point. If you are a woodworker, you will have to chip this out with your chisel and hammer to get this shape. That's literally how you must start to see everything. Everything is just one whole shape. You chisel out the part you need. Is that chiseling gangan that you will pay close to $500 for if I want to take a class? Okay, so yes, everything. If you check, I told you when I started, I said I've been saying it, but indirectly. I mean, I've taken enough class to know what people listen to and what they are not listening to. This also, you can tell now, is just a whole box. It was chiseled out. But instead of walking through the part where you get to see what I am saying, I just design it to confuse you. It's not a paid class. All right, moving on. Would you say taking a look at different design disciplines will help having a lot of? Yes, please. I've said that you must. I make a lot of tweets that makes you people sound like I'm one jobless fellow who has a lot of time in his hand. True. I say a lot of things you probably will not take for granted. You will take for granted. Yes, I've said this before, that you need to look around you and then synthesize. I watch a lot of woodwork and I started realizing how to form things without necessarily looking at the reference. One. Number two, I watched a lot of assemblage on car and I realized what precision means. If they are not precise by a millimeter, people will die. And it taught me how to be precise, like approach it with the same level of gravity, like you are in a car assemblage or you're a medical doctor, with the same level of precision. Your designs will always stand out, even in the outline stage like this. All right. From small to big, yes. Or you can actually, for me, I did from big to small, by the way. I didn't follow the right design path. That's why I say there's really no, if curiosity drives you, you might expend a lot of energy. It might not be efficient, but you are going to get to where you are going. I promise you. That's what I meant by intensity of passion. This is quite inspiring for me. I need to pick up illustration again. God be with you. If you don't give up halfway, how long can you go from referencing to designing on your imagination? I can go from 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Banter. Okay, I can really go fast. I need to carry you along. That's why I'm talking, explaining, slowing down and all. If I am left alone, I move faster. And I have some tricks I don't want to show on camera. It's not a paid class. How do we pick a right object to illustrate for a project like this? Imagination has to be fair. A lot of these things burn down to everything you have seen and then grinds down into your imagination. That's why I keep saying imagination has to be fecund. You have to spend time to just sit and stare at good quality work on Pinterest. It has to marinate. Then that thing that has marinated is like a bird that needs to fly. 2 wings. It's not just 1 wing. Most time people just focus on the right wing and leave the other wing. The other wing is now your head. Can you see it closing your eyes? Can you see it in your head? That's what matters. Until you start seeing it in your head, this is impossible. You always need references. Tell us a bit more about, I know what to do to not make you need reference. Paid class. Tell us a bit more about yourself. No. Everything I learned here today is more mental than about the design maybe. I hope you don't forget that. For some of us that know how to design some screens without references, because we worked on them several times, and some screens we have to check reference. Is that balance enough? Yes. If you ask me tomorrow to design something that I've never designed before, I need references. But mimicry is essentially looking at art. There's nothing wrong with reference, Abu. There's absolutely nothing wrong with reference. If tomorrow, if it's pride that will make you wake up on morning and say, I don't need reference. If I am doing a design for any asset tomorrow, and I don't have the mental image in my head, I will go and look for reference. Nobody will beat me up for it. If you don't have reference to something, go and find it. However, try as much as possible to retain images in your head. Goes a long way. Why? Because you will start designing faster, better. You'll be able to deliver quality better. Why? Because all the time people are taking to go and fetch references and trace. You are just designing directly. And you will ace interviews easily. Easily. I mean, I know what I'm saying, but I can't speak too freely on that. Okay. Organo relay, how big O notation take big box? Okay, never mind. That would be a conversation finally. Finally, the price range. Price dropped at Baba don't drop price like that. 500 price that. No, it probably would be more or less. I'm just teasing. One thing that has helped with my Sharingan is taking shapes. I love this. That's a word narrator. Trying to yes, you need precision muscle is gained when you reconstruct. Trace. Use your pen tool. It also helps you to know, but you can't stay there for long. That's my point. You can't. You have to learn to stop tracing and start using your own approach, your imagination. And then when you start using your imagination, you have to know what's called governing lines. Not grid lines, governing lines. Governing lines is what makes things look cohesive and not odd or off. It's governing lines that make me realize that this is off. But you people probably didn't. Probably some people noticed, but they didn't mention. They are called governing lines or anchor lines. Discussion for another day. How did you accurately do the hammer? Like I know a hammer, but I'm not sure I can chisel it out like that. You have to drive. We'll soon be wrapping up. We have 8 more minutes. You have to drive your intensity. You have to drive your imagination to reality. I'm intentionally answering very vague. You have to, when I say you have to drive it, I do designs. I was on a project where I did a design, and I can tell it's sort of like you have what is called a matured discernment, or your intuition is refined. You know how to feel deeply. I did a design and I was saying something is off about it. Something is off about it until I changed the background color across board. You can tell, like most people, but on a higher trajectory, when your feelings don't align with a design, that something is still not right. It's not something you will say recklessly or something you just say to feel among. You say it because you are thoroughly uncomfortable with anything that is not looking premium. So you have trained your mind to not accommodate anything that you consider distasteful, even when others consider it like nice. Okay, so I have a 4K TV. I don't mean to brag. I'm actually bragging. Nobody will beat me. I have a 4K TV in my family. When I see a 1080p or 2 or anything that is lower than 4K, I promise you I can tell. And now it feels off to me. There are some kind of devices I can't use again. Why? Because I would never, my taste has been, the floor of my taste has been raised. So when I look at I went for Arts Fellowship and I saw some, the person taking the aspect, I saw his TV. And the man was saying, this thing is 4K. I said, it's not 4K, sir. He sent me out of the Arts Fellowship because he felt I was insulting him. He said, it's 4K. I said, it's not 4K, sir. I know what 4K looks like. He said, what do I mean? That I sense. I said, the fact that it's even I sense means it's not 4K. That doesn't know what 4K looks like. That this thing is pixelated. And then I started pointing to icons. The icon stroke will never be the same. The man said I should leave his house. Story for another day. So my point is that your eye can easily tell. Why? Because I've sat down with 4K morning and night for over 4 months. And you are telling me I sense 70 because your screen is 77 inches. It's not 4K. I say it's not 4K. And the thing almost turned 5. He just got the TV last month. If I had known, I would have kept quiet. He was taking pride in it. And he plays PS. I'm telling him, can you not see icons? Icons stroke are pixelated and you're telling me it's 4K. You don't know what 4K is, sir. And the man says I should get out. All right. Woodwork cubic time about to graduate of views after this class. The thing is that you can still look and not see. That's the point. You know that you look with your eye, you will see your brain. Your brain interprets what your eye is looking at. So that's why I'm saying that paid class is where the juice is. I'm not trying to sell paid class. I'm just saying that everything I say is half measure. There are things I have not said. You can look at woodwork from now to tomorrow. You still not get what I'm trying to say. Curiosity will make you do crazy things. Absolutely correct. You can instruct curiosity. You can fuel curiosity. You can encourage curiosity. Even if the person doesn't have it, it will just be slower. But when you meet someone who is like Naruto, who is bloody ambitious and running on internal fuel, has a profound internal locus of control, and they just want to, it's raw energy. It's like fuel. You are my guy. Ambitious people, you want to run on pure energy. You are my guy. I will just give you direction to run. Nobody will hinder you. But if you meet people who are not sort of ambitious, I will fuel the ambition because I will keep showing you that there's a better way to go about it. I was asking about us. How long can we go from referencing to designing from our imagination? Again, it's a matter of how intense you can be. That's why I'm saying that there are things I can do, but largely still depends on you. I've taught a lot of, during my service here, a long time ago, I learned about pedagogy and teaching children. So I know how to gamify what I want people to learn, but it's not necessarily the same mental map one-to-one when it comes to activating neurons for adults. Because adults have a lot of conflicting things there. Some people need to survive. Some people are under pressure. Some people have black tax on their head. Some people have family. Some people are not passion-fueled. They are survivor-fueled. So you need to navigate all of those dynamics without offending them, without making them seem like they are not passionate enough. So it's a matter of your intensity. How badly do you want to be good at this thing? When you are really wanting it so bad that you rather design than watch football, we'll talk. Okay. So in practical words, how do you develop that kind of imagination where you can start from your mind, not a reference? For me, it took time before I noticed. I'll tell you how it happened to me, but I realized that I can help other people get there faster. I have one student who has gotten there faster. Faster, by the way. In 2 weeks, he got there faster. He's crazy good now, but it's a well hidden secret. I told him he's going to become a pen god when it comes to Illustrator. I will make him smudgy, a god on Illustrator. That I shouldn't wear that. I don't present myself as an illustrator outside. I say product designer. But people don't know that there's so much I can do here. There are people who claim to be illustrator. I smile when I see their work that if you go toe to toe, it's not pride though. You will lose the teeth. So yeah, in practical aspects, it can be choreographed. I can help you see it better. When it comes to referencing, for Illustrator, not product design, paid class. I need to book a private lesson. You think it's ordinary? Peter, you say you need to book a private lesson on design in general. I don't do ADP list again. People don't listen. People here, they don't listen. Someone got a new boyfriend and she came to tell me excitedly on ADP list. I was happy for her. And I realized that I was just a sounding board. The only thing that matters to the baby, she just liked this thing with me about her life. She was 7 in, I think, Kano, but she's an Igbo babe. So the place is, she's short on friends. So every opportunity she has, she's always on ADP list with me. She'll say, she'll start with design, but end up with a day. Start with design, end up. When she got a new boyfriend, I knew, I congratulated her. When she posted the day he did, you know this thing, babes, too, will you be my girlfriend? When they went out for it, I liked it on Twitter. She came back the next day and said, she realized that I like picture. I said, yes, is that why you booked another ID, please? And she went further to say that she will not believe that he didn't even want to do it. We spent another 30 minutes. So I realized that she's alive when she has someone to communicate to, which is not a bad thing. But it's design me I want to talk to you about, Abigail. Jesus Christ. It's design me I want to talk to you about. I'm not here to talk about your life. And I'm not your friend. I realized a lot of people were abusing it. Someone told me about his uncle and was cursing the uncle on the call. I said, bro, you are turning this into counseling. I'm not your counselor. I'm ADP. Like people started turning me to sounding board. Sometimes they just need to listen. Someone lost his dad, came online. I just noticed it was moody. And I was like, what is going on? This and that. Is design want to do? Say my dad passed away. I dropped the call and he sent me a message that was rude. That he just told me what went wrong and I dropped the call. I said, what do you? Moving on. I worked at no ADP list for anybody again. I need to. Before we end the class, color takes time. I'm not hiding that information from you. A getter fix. Color takes time. And color requires that we explain lighting to you. It's not part of the scope of this class. My time is up. It's not part of the scope of this class. So if you notice, I'm being intentional that I know this, I can't finish this in 3 hours, no matter how fast I want to move. Because if I start doing color, I will have to teach what I am doing or explain. That alone is showing that. But I move faster when I just show you the output. You will recognize it. So it's intentional. There are some things that are not for a general class. They are for a closed class. You know why? Color can break this design. Jetta fix. Color can break this design. Color can in fact break this design. I don't want color to break it. So I'll do that separately. What you are saying happens also when you feed your eyes with not good designs. You just knew something is off. True, but it's not instructive. Daniel, it's not as instructive as my approach. That is why whichever year I come out and say I want to do paid design, ensure you have the money. It's not instructive by the way, because some people have been spending time steering. I've also been there and asked myself, why did I not notice this thing early until I realized why? That's why I said you can be choreographed. Someone can guide your attention to things to look at, even on a normal, like on your normal environment. Movement of light. It will light to help you. Daniel, I'm not even capping. Moving on. Okay, laughter at the end of the day. All right, thank you all very much. We are going to see tomorrow. We resume. We're having some classes tomorrow. Tomorrow is more or less speeding through product design. Product design tomorrow, and we will shatter. I see it. I'm not keen on money now. Probably next year or the subsequent year, when I've sort of slowed down activities on the internet, I will now say I'm ready to take paid classes. Until then, I'm not in a hurry to take paid classes. Someone even said that since I'm having a large number of people ready for class, that Why don't I do paid classes? I say, no, it's not the kind of like 1,000 people I'll be doing paid classes. You will just make me rich and I'll run away. Paid classes usually 20, 30, 3 months, 6 months. If your designs don't get you international gig, you get back your money. I'm not even capping. But yeah, thank you all very much. Thank you all for coming. We'll see tomorrow. I'll post the finished design probably tomorrow morning or afternoon. But yeah, if you're on Discord, our conversation continues. Drop your questions, drop your comments, drop your complaints. You spent more time talking than designing, I'll adjust it tomorrow. It won't happen again. Remember the project we are working on is called InstantFind.me, and we are going live with it. And everybody who participates actively is going to be attached as a contributor. I'll show you all on the internet shortly. Take care, everyone, and thank you. Shout out to Sam too, Samuel Babalola, who is helping me with this. Shout out to Moses, who developed our website. Credit to who credit is you. Shout out to Cheesy, who is going to develop the app, and I've already said it publicly, so you'll be heard by higher response. Good night, everyone. See you all tomorrow.